Hello everyone, welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about relics. As you've probably seen today, I've uploaded two videos today, one being on deer, one being on dogs. So now I thought I'd add the final part to that, which is the reason I did that. So recently, of course, with the introduction of LRs, there's a lot going around that it's going to be mainly festivals, and that it's going to be, it's going to be Goddess Liz next, and then it's like that, sort of like it's going to go in order. So, I thought I'd make a video going over the demonic beasts and now my thoughts on what you should do with the relics. For example, if you're a newer player or an older player who just can't be asked to farm relics because I don't understand, it does take a long time, these are some reasons why you should. So, at least you should farm the bird, the deer, and the dogs. The new demonic beasts you don't have to think about because this is too hard, it's not really worth it at the moment. But of course, if you can make them, then go ahead and make the festival ones because they could get an LR. Of course, Freres as well. But the reason you should make them is deer, dogs, and bird are decently easy demonic beasts. They can be infinitely farmed, and there are characters that make them extremely easy, as you can see what I've made in my guides. But when it comes to relics, they can be a big game changer. For example, Barnes increase hero's max HP by 15% each time an ally dies is pretty big when he's the only one standing, giving himself 45% HP related stats, plus his passive, so on and so forth. So it could be pretty big. Let's just say they then make it so his buffs don't disappear. With his LR version, the relic would help a lot with it, consistently making sure he has a lot of HP. So it's just saying, Barnes relic is good, he'll be pretty close to being LR decently soon if we look in order. So you'll have Goddess Liz, OG Festival King, the one Escanor, Lolly Merlin, AM Melee. Sorry, AM Melee is before Lolly Merlin, then Zeldris, then Barn. You think, oh, that's like 5, 6, 7 away, right? But then you have to think about what happens if they start doing 2 at a time. Because yeah, they're currently only doing 1 at a time, but what happens if they start making it 2? So now you have to pick which one you want. So it's always good to have the relics for every character, just in case, a character like the one Escanor, I don't think he will get a good LR, but if he does, let's just say get a very good LR, you don't really want to skip on it. Especially when, Escanor's relic is not the best, of course it only works in PvP, but they may also decide to revamp his relic to make it more useful like anywhere else. When they do the LRs. I doubt it, but they still could. Lolly Merlin LR version might actually be pretty good, mainly because she has Infect, she's got Power Strike, she's almost a shield, and she's got a damage cap as well. Means mix with Rotomia Link, you're looking that she's going to be very strong. Plus, with the LR system, everything gets reworked. Their passives, their ultimates, and all their cards. Meaning that, this could be given, like, I don't know, Pierce as well as Power Strike. Let's just say. It's really broken, plus, her Relic, 20% extra damage to debuff, she debuffs, all these extra damage things. It's really worth it. Especially when we get down the line and we think about characters who are very broken with their relic. Most people probably do have Festival Gotha's relic because of how good it is. And if you don't, get it. It's very good and you won't regret it, trust me. And with his relic, he's very good. Imagine if they LR him. Like stuff like, you need to think about the possibilities. Like, oh yeah, characters are already good or decently good with their relic. If they LR them, what's going to happen? Are they going to be even stronger? Is their relic going to make them even more broken? For example, Goddess Liz. Her relic, she is a decently meta character. Well, not really anymore, but she was. And increase her shield by 15% is quite a bit. So, the difference between you taking a lot of damage and you taking no damage could be, you having the relic or not. Especially with OG Kings. OG King isn't that good. When he gets... I don't actually have his relic, and I'm currently one run off getting his relic, he could be very good. Mainly because he has a release card, he inflicts debuffs, mixed with his relic, mixed with, the fairy teams that's known for applying hundreds of debuffs very quickly. His passive isn't that bad as it is. And you've got his ultimate, which is Abyss, which is very strong. Margaret, the Goddess team could use some LRs, especially Margaret would be a very good LR. I do think that, would she be a little bit broken if she got an LR? But of course, they do have to balance the LRs with normal characters, because if not, it's going to be very like, oh, if you don't have the LR, you lose, sort of thing. Which is the reason why I think they might release them very, one every 2 months for now, until, they think, okay, until they make a certain, until they make more ways of how to obtain them. I don't know, through events or something like that. But yeah, Zeldris could actually be really good if he gets an LR. They might make it like you get like 2% substats as well. So you end up getting 16% substats, 24% basic stats. Stuff like that. You just have to watch out for. Make sure you got relics because the relic is pretty useful. And Zeldris currently is actually a very good character. I don't have Cusack, but if I had him, I'd have his relic, of course. Increases crit damage by 80%. So currently he's very strong as it is. He is a very high crit damage character. He's PvP only, which is kind of sad. So his LR version may not be that good. Festival King's LR version may be very good, but of course, he's Relic his dogs, so you have to save for that. But overall, I just thought I'd make this video just to tell you that you should start farming at least the Festival Relics. If you do not have the Festival Relics, okay, so don't worry about Nidhogg. Currently, don't worry about it until it's easy. When it's easy, yeah, then farm it and then get the relics for the 3 festivals that are in it, 1, 2, and 3. But currently, for now, just focus on dogs, deer, and bird. Get all the festival relics in it, and then if you want to get the other relics in it, go for it. But I highly recommend getting the festival relics because if we are getting LRs, getting the festival relics will make it much easier. You won't have to farm them closer to the time. You already have them ready for their LR versions. Of course, the LR version could still be completely horrible, but at least you have it. And of course, it's extra box you see, more GP points, so on and so forth. I always go on about when I talk about progression in the game. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.